like that. And after 20 years we realize Anartha Nivritti has not yet begun. And then one starts getting doubt about the process itself. And therefore, the success of a hospital is not in its ability to attract patients. The hospital is not successful because so many patients have come. But how many are coming out alive, healthy, regained their full vigor? So therefore, now, in the second part of the 50 years of ISKCON, a very important feature is how we are able to practice the process properly and experience the genuine effect of following the process. And that will be a big challenge. And then people's faith in the process grows. When they see that, yes, this process is affecting and helping people. Fourth is doubt in one's own ability. Because we may hear about Parikshit Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Pandavas. We may hear about so many acharyas. And we may think, oh, for them it is possible, but for me, how is it possible? Therefore, doubt in one's ability is another doubt. And the fifth is doubt when you hear about apparent contradictions in Shastra. And when you hear all of these contradictions, it increases the doubt further. And therefore one devotee was telling me, you guys have a good answer. Whenever you don't have an answer, you say achintya. Inconceivable. But Chakravarti Path says, that is the only way in which you can resolve apparent contradictions. So therefore, Brahmaji has this particular bewilderment where he gets a doubt about the supremacy and the position of Krishna. Next, in response to this, what does Krishna do? Krishna converts this situation, which is apparently a problem, he converts this problem into a wonderful pastime. Not everybody has the power to convert a problem into a pastime. Only those who are extremely powerful can do that. And therefore the Shastras say, Maha vipattau samsare yasmaret madhusudana vipattau tasya samsiddhir vipattau tasya sampattir bhavet ityaha shankara. In great calamity, when one remembers Krishna, that calamity becomes the source of our prosperity. So therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha gurunandana. What is our Vyavasaya? So Krishna says, practice Krishna consciousness with business-like professionalism. Vyavasaya. What should be your Vyavasaya? Atmika. It should be connected to your soul. Ekeha. That means, for a businessman, when he gets profit, when he gets, when the political climate is in one direction, he is only thinking about one thing, how to make profit. When some other political party is in power, does the businessman change his thought? He continues his thought. What is his thought? How to make money. So whatever may be the situation of whoever may be in power, and whichever dham we go for yatra, businessman is only thinking of one thing, how to make profit. So just like that, Krishna says, Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. Just as the businessman is constantly thinking of only how to make profit, like that a person practicing Krishna consciousness is simply thinking about how to remember Krishna. Remembrance remembrance of Krishna is the ultimate income. Forgetfulness of Krishna is expenditure. And Maya has all the arsenals to make us forget Krishna. So every single day we have to make sure that our income is more than expense. Remembrance is more than forgetfulness. And therefore in the course of our life, during our profession, during our family, during our other activities through the year, many times our days have ended when forgetfulness has been more than remembrance. To compensate for those days, we come here in Dham so that 24/7 we can be engaged in remembering Krishna, and there is an excess dose of hearing and chanting. So this excess dose of hearing and chanting is to compensate for the other days. So this is like a bumper lottery, extra investment which you are making. And of course, in between that, you are sufficiently nourished also. And so this hearing and chanting extra is part of the process of remembering Krishna more. And so, when we do that, then we are actually able to experience the essence of Krishna consciousness. That means, when there is prosperity, you remember Krishna. When there is adversity, you remember Krishna. And so you realize that this is the real game for which we are trying to practice. The material world has been created to help us practice this game. That every moment I will keep throwing you different items. But as I am throwing all of these, is your mind forgetting me or remembering me? So therefore, Krishna was beyond any disturbance. As Brahmaji tried to create this disturbance, Krishna converted this into a pastime. And then we find that Brahmaji is in a bewildered state, and then he starts offering his prayers to Krishna. And in that prayer, in that mood of humility, Brahmaji accepts, I am insignificant like a firefly. A firefly in front of the sun. And therefore in this mood of humility, I am praying to you, please reveal this Vrindavan to me. And so Shyam Sundar Nandanandan revealed himself not in response to Brahmaji's prowess, but in response to Brahmaji's humility and atonement. And so Vrindavan was revealed to Brahmaji. Yatra naisarga durvaira sahasanre mrigadaya mitrani iva ajitavasa drutaruttarshakadikam. He says that Vrindavan is a place where one is free from the influence of hunger, thirst, all kinds of other impediments, because one is constantly absorbed in Krishna. And so Brahmaji directly experiences Vrindavan when Krishna reveals Vrindavan to him right here in response to his humble plea. And then Brahmaji offers his prayer and says to the Lord, what is my aspiration? Tadastu me natha sa bhuri bhaga bhavetra vanyatra tuvatirascham yena hamekopi bhavat jananam bhutva nisheve tava pada pallavam. Brahmaji prays, my dear Lord, I am offering a prayer to you that having realized my mistake, because of my position, because of my identity as the creator, I have been somehow devoid of realizing Vrindavan and your glories. And therefore I pray to you that either in the next life or the life after that, or whenever I take birth, may I take birth in the family of your devotees. May I take birth in the association of your devotees, so that I always get an opportunity to serve you and please you. Bhutva nisheve tava pada pallavam. In this way, Brahmaji is offering prayers to Krishna at this very spot, in this very consciousness that I am an insignificant, humble servant of yours. And therefore, Brahmaji in his prayers, he glorifies the Brajavasis. Aho bhagyam, nanda gopa brajokasam, yanamitram paramanandam, purna brahma sanatanam. That, oh, what is the fortune of the Brajavasis, that they are constantly playing with Krishna, thinking him to be their own family member. And therefore, people may say, I have realized Krishna, but manaso vapusho vacho vaibhavam tava gocharam, I cannot understand you with all of my intelligence put together. Therefore, my dear Lord, please accept me as your servant. Please forgive me. And so in the next incarnation, I do not want to make the same mistake. And I want to absolve myself of this identity as a creator. Let me only be constantly chanting your holy names. And this Lord Brahmaji, in the next lifetime, he actually became Namachara Shila Haridas Thakur. And when Mahaprabhu comes and embraces Haridas Thakur, because Haridas Thakur is at a distance, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks his devotees, I see everybody but I don't see Haridas Thakur, and they say he is so humble, he is at a distance, he is not even wanting to come in front of you because he doesn't want to pollute you, my dear Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, bring him in front of me. Haridas Thakur is chanting 192 rounds every day. And he thinks himself to be so humble, unqualified to come in front of the Lord. The day we chant 17 rounds, we feel great. And what to speak of if we chant 20 rounds? And we are looking around thinking, nobody is saying anything. And here, Haridas Thakur, Nama Acharya, has chanted 192 rounds every day. And then, when he comes in front of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu embraces him. Haridas kohe prabhu na chuya more, moini chanas asprishya paramapa more. He says, I am untouchable, I am fallen. My dear Lord, please do not touch me. And Mahaprabhu looks at Haridas Thakur and glorifies him, and he says, Kshane kshane karatumi sarva tirthera snan. Kshane kshane karatumi yajna tapodan. He says, every moment you have taken bath in all the holy places, every moment you have studied all the Shastras, every moment you have given all kinds of auspicious things in charity. Because you are constantly chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then Mahaprabhu gives him residence at Siddha Bhakpul, and he says, stay here under this tree. Mandirere chakra deki koriha pranam, pratidina asi tomar prasadan. Every day I will come and deliver prasad to you. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, when people start practicing the spiritual path, many others come and offer skeptic remarks. If you chant so much and if you do so much of bhakti, what will happen to your life? What will happen to your life? Which is a bona fide question. And many people come and they try to question the devotees. I was trying to share Mahaprasad with one college student and he refused to take it. And I said, many people have refused Bhagavad Gita, but you seem to be the first guy refusing Mahaprasad. And he said, I'm afraid if I take this prasad, my hairstyle will become like yours. So many times, when you take to Krishna consciousness, your lifestyle changes completely. Hairstyle may not change, but lifestyle changes completely. And whether one is brahmachari or one is grihastha, Diwali season, you are sitting here in Vrindavan. And family members ask, okay, next week we are coming to your home on Sunday. He says, no, we are in temple. Okay, the week after that we will come. And then also we are in temple. And which temple? Same temple. How can Hindus go 2 different weeks to same temple? What kind of people are you? And therefore we have seen that when, people go to different Hindu temples, family encourages. No problem, continue. When they start coming to ISKCON temple, they say, hey, don't go. Why? Yadgatwana nivartan. Once you go there, you will come out totally changed. So therefore, it creates transformation. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Haridas Thakur, you sit here and chant, and Prabhupada says, there was no means of sustenance for Haridas Thakur. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came and took care of him. And therefore we should have faith that by prioritizing Krishna consciousness, by investing time, effort, energy in Krishna consciousness, we will not lose in the long run. We will only gain. And that faith we must have. And so, that creator of the entire universe, Brahmaji, became a totally dependent devotee as Haridas Thakur, constantly chanting the holy names. In Govardhan, a few years back, His Grace Burijan Prabhu, he took me to one plot of land and he said that we have a land here and we want to create a retreat center. And I said, okay, that's a great idea. I said, how much funds you have? He says, nothing. I said, okay, who is the person who is going to sit here and execute it? Do you have identified anybody? He says, no. He says, do you have a team in place? He says, no. So I said, what do you have then? He said, desire. And then he started asking me details about the eco village and what I did and everything, and I thought, okay, this is great conversation, but how can anything manifest here? So then while going, within my heart I was thinking, Bechare, Prabhuji, how will anything happen? Nothing is possible. So mentally I resigned myself to the fact that it's not possible. This year for advance party of our Yatra, we had come in May, the Yatra organizing team. So one devotee came up to me and he said that I want you to come with me to Govardhan and see the retreat center which is built. I said, which retreat center? Burijan Prabhu and all they have made. And I said, what? But it was just an empty patch of land 3 years ago. And how many rooms? And he said, 80 rooms. 80 rooms. And along with that, they are also building few bhajan kutirs underground, like a cave. Wow. It's not Muchakunda cave. It is for bhajan. And they are just, in the finishing stages, and in a few months it will be over. And I was shocked and I said, how is it possible? He said, well, we had the desire and he was praying and everything, and one donor got inspired and he came up and he wrote a check, and some others also came forward, and then Gopal Krishna Maharaj sent me to come and help here. So I shifted here and we took care of this project. There was some neighbor who was protesting, who was not allowing the construction to begin. That neighbor lost his wife and then some other relative, and then he got the realization of his life. When other neighbors tried to stop us, he preached to them, they are dangerous Don't stop this. Let this construction continue. And then ultimately the whole project is built. So when I heard this, I remembered this particular pastime. That we should not underestimate the power of chanting of the holy names. And those who are dedicated to the chanting of the holy names. That great powers, they rally behind such personalities. And many inconceivable things happen. And therefore, when Krishna disappeared and ended his pastimes, at that point, Krishna's grandson Vajranag, he established the three deities of Govinda, Gopinath and Madan Mohan. He established Keshavji in Mathura. He established Srinathji's deity on top of Giriraj. And this Vrindavan was a luxurious, amazingly spiritually potent place. But then in 1000 AD, Mahmud of Ghazni attacked this place. And because of that attack, he took away 100 camels filled with all kinds of valuables. When he came and saw the Keshavji temple, his scribe writes in his diary that it would not have been possible to build this temple for more than 200 years. It would have taken at least 200 years to build this temple, and it could not have been built by anyone ordinary, anyone human. In spite of acknowledging like this, still he attacked. And the entire Vrindavan was ransacked. So today in Karthik when we come, thousands of devotees have come from different parts of the world. And every lane in Vrindavan is overcrowded. Today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. It will be chock-a-block. But remember that the Vrindavan you see today is a result of the sacrifices of devotees over the last 1000 years. And therefore, while offering a prayer, do not forget to offer prayer of gratitude to all those whose sacrifices have made our present experience of Vrindavan possible. And therefore, I want to now conclude with a few minutes of the description about how, having understood the glories of Brahmaji and having seen how Brahmaji got bewildered when he tried to prioritize intelligence over submission. Then we now come to the point of how Vrindavan got established again when submission was prioritized over intelligence.